Welcome back to another episode of Flawless Fantasy Football. Congratulations to the victors, week one. And also congratulations to the ones that lost week one as well, because there should be a learning experience behind it. Sometimes it's a silver lining that you just can't see. But first, let's address that. For the ones that lost, that may be feeling some type of way about their fantasy team, you might be feeling defeated. Okay? Defeat is really not, it's not a strong trait that people desire to feel. Or you may feel a high level of brokenness. Okay? And that wears on you. Or you just might have been walking around the last couple of days being somber. Yeah, somber's not good either. And all those traits may actually lead you to having doubt about your fantasy football team here for 2022. But I'm going to tell you what we're going to do around here at Flawless. See this? We're going to tear all this crap up. You know why? Because it's just freaking week one. It's just week one, okay? No tilting, no crying, no feeling sorry for yourself, because you're in the right place here at Flawless Fantasy Football where we can patch these things up and we can shoot off to the freaking moon, okay? The reason I share these stories with y'all, saying how I went 0-2 in a home league last year and made it to the championship game, is because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Nobody that won in this community here with us is no better than the ones that lost. Okay? But guess what? We're going to get back at them. All right? We're going to learn. Learn from the victories and learn from the losses. Now that I've decompressed, let's get into the waivers. Press like on my videos, guys. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. What we're going to talk about first. Let's talk about quarterbacks. So unless you had Dakota Prescott, you shouldn't be around here trying to get no quarterback. But there are two that I can give a little bit of credit to. One's Carson Wentz, and the other is Matt Ryan. Okay, but let me give you a little caveat real quick, all right? Carson Wentz scored 35 fantasy points. 313 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, probably had some rushing in there. Matt Ryan went 352 with 1 touchdown, 1 pick. But let me tell you something. Wentz, good for him. He got 3 wide receivers over there now, so it's just not Scary Terry, which is good. The rookie and the other guy over there has stayed glassed out, but he's healthy now. So it's not depending on one guy. But keep in mind, guys, Washington played freaking Jacksonville, okay? Washington played Jacksonville. Keep that in mind. Every year you're going to have people pop. So you're going to go out there and just get people, just do a quick little money grab, not knowing if it's my monopoly money or not, and throwing away somebody on your team that may have value but just didn't have it week one. Wentz did fine. He has Detroit coming up next, which should be a shootout. Philadelphia and Dallas coming up. Philadelphia let Detroit do all that kind of stuff, throw the ball around like crazy. So but he didn't throw for a lot of yards. They ran on him some. But Carson Wentz is a good streamer. He was a good streamer last year. Matt Ryan did not look good, people. Yeah, sure, Pittman got the touchdown and he had the volume. But they eventually turned it over to Jonathan Taylor because they realized that Houston jumped on that tail. So they had to get back into the game and hand the ball to Jonathan Taylor. But those are the only 2 people I can see worth streaming. But we shouldn't be streaming because nobody here should have had Dak Prescott. Because he was no one Sir Flawless recommended. Did I? No, I didn't. I answered that for you. Let's get to the running backs. Now look, check this out. Again, we're not chasing all these points, okay? We're not chasing points. And again, I want needle movers. Needle movers. If you want your jabroni players and your little players to just go out there and give you safe points and don't have no type of ceiling, you're at the wrong place. Wrong place. Number one, I shouldn't have to tell you guys this, but I'm going to part him up here anyway. He's on all my teams. You guys seen the mock drafts. The ones that don't have him on there is because you decided you want to pick 1,000 receivers when your boy called it right off the rip. Let's say if Najee Harris gets to go, he's a full go this week against the Patriots. It's going to be a problem all year long. And Warren, somebody need to watch some clips of Warren. That boy can block. That boy can run. And you get your job sometimes by the way of injury and you lose it that same way. But that didn't happen for Najee because he came out the draft and it was his. But nevertheless, Warren's my number one. Jaylen Warren. Number two, here's a little situation here, guys. You got Jeff Wilson, which everybody's saying is Jeff Wilson. You got Ty Price. And you got Jordan Mason. Now look, this is my beloved 49ers. People are saying it's going to be Wilson. All the big talking heads, the people that have 1, 2, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 100,000 subscribers. Well, not that many, but close. And they talking about Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson's a goddamn plotter, okay? He's a plotter. People just hanging on to years ago when he was so good in the fantasy at the end of the season. Was he active? Yeah. You know who wasn't active? But he didn't do nothing. Ty Price wasn't active. Now they asked Shanahan, how come Ty Price wasn't active? He said because Jordan Mason brought special teams juice. That's my words. He didn't say that, but you know. That's why Mason was active. But I don't believe it because he didn't show much in preseason. Mason was all the talk. And probably the reason why he let him go out there, obviously because Mason wasn't in the plans. But hell, why take Mason out there when he just got hurt up? Hell, let freaking Wilson go out there and glass out. Don't let this young bulldog have to go out there and do it. Some people going to take Ty Price. Most people are going to go for Wilson. I'll put my vote in for Mason. Okay? That's just me being my 49er. I don't have a dog in the fight, but that's just the person I feel that would be the most dynamic on the team. Number three. Man, I hate you. Okay. I'm going to go Jamal Williams. Now, he should not be, he shouldn't be a free agent, but he didn't run well at all, guys. The guy had like 11 carries for 28 yards. He's not dynamic. He had 2 touchdowns. And actually, at the end of the day, it's just a cuff for Swift because Swift glass. But he's like one of these people that whenever it's his turn, he's not dynamic when he get in there. He reminds me of Kareem Hunt. And I know y'all probably not going to believe this, but when Kareem Hunt get in, he's better when he's not the starter for Cleveland. But when he is the starter, he ain't dynamic. Not in my opinion anyways. Number 4. He showed a little something. Isaiah Pacheco. Thing is, it's going to have to be an injury to CEH because he got in and did a lot of work. Average over 5 yards a carry, did a lot of work, got a touchdown. But even though it'll still be a timeshare to some degree. But he is explosive. Actually, when he scored the touchdown, Pat Mahomes actually alerted. He was real tentative and went and got his first touchdown ball and made sure he got it back to him. That was pretty cool. Patrick Mahomes, frog talking self. And number 5, we're gonna go with Rashard White. I don't know if he got 2 A's in there or what. He is the clear-cut backup in Tampa. Nice receiving back, can run, young and dynamic. Fournette loves to miss 3 or 4 games a season. And if he missed more, he'd be a blessing to somebody's fantasy teams. But you have to stash him if you want him. If not, gotta leave him out there. Then you gotta fight for him when the time comes. Like your boy did. Look. What's the glass boy name? Mitchell. He wasn't hurt. But guess what? I had Mason on my teams. Okay? Sometimes you just got to take a chance. You got to take a chance. People say, oh, you can't predict injuries. You can. To a degree, you can, if you do it without bias. All right, on to the wide receivers. Okay, now, again, we're talking about needle movers, guys. Needle movers. I don't want you guys having no pedestrian guys. I want people. Sure, it don't necessarily have to be a touchdown, but it has to be some type of value with it. You know, not just some pedestrian guy and you're just hoping. All right? So let's go with number 1. Josh Palmer. All right? We're not going to spend too much time on this. He's the next man up. Yeah, you know, another guy caught 2 touchdowns. But everybody on that damn team had 4 targets. Everybody on that team had 4 targets. But everybody want to whine about Mike Williams. You told me to pick Mike. Dude, KC. Oh, you told me to pick Mike. Dude, it's a team effort. It's a team effort. Like, I can blame one of my losses. I had one. I went 2 for 1 this week. I could have blamed it on, oh, commit, you should have caught. No, man. Some other people should have stepped up and maybe I wouldn't have lost by 4, but it's a team effort. I'm not even worried about it, though, because I know I'm going to come back in that league and go to the playoffs. That's the type of confidence you should have. And over here at Flawless Fantasy Football, we are freaking confident and we are fearless. I need you guys to have no fear when it comes to submitting lineups and getting players out there. No fear. That Josh Palmer's going to be playing aside Mike Williams on Thursday night. You should see a lot of juice. Hell, I'm going to play both Mike Williams and him. But of course, I had him because I had Mike Williams insurance. And I said that Josh Palmer will be the next man up if anything happened to Mike Williams or Glass Boy on the other side. And it did. Just like Dobbs. Insurance for Lazard and insurance for Sammy Watkins, which he's nothing. But nevertheless, let's keep it moving. Josh Palmer. Number 2, Devin Duvernay. Now, this gentleman, pardon the writing, you know, let me make sure I spell the man name right. I need one of those chalkboards, one of those erasers. I keep saying that, but I can feel like I'm in what's going. So, the guy was more productive than Rashad Bateman. He had 2 touchdowns. He would have had 4 catches. Made him count, though. And Mark Andrews didn't have a big day, maybe about 7, 8 fantasy points. But Devin Duvernay made the most. That dude's fast, too. So if you want some part of his TD action, you know, go for it. He's a possible needle mover. Number 3, Jahan Dotson. Now, I don't know if I can trust Wentz because him playing against Jacksonville. But that young kid's dynamic. Scored 2 touchdowns. So whenever somebody scores 2 touchdowns, it's something to it if they're in a starting role. Unlike homeboy that played, that was playing for Chargers. Wasn't playing in the starting role. But Duvernay and Dotson are. One of those guys is going to be very nice on somebody's team for the long haul. Number 4, Kyle Phillips. Kyle Phillips, like, who the hell is that? Flawless. He's a young gentleman that plays for Tennessee Titans. He went 6 for 66. Didn't have a touch, but he led the league in catches and yards. That's saying a lot. Has Tannehill's trust. And maybe the clear-cut number 1 over there. And number 5, I was going to put DJ Shark on the list, but I just refused to. If you like DJ Shark, you want to get going to that, fine. But I'm going to go with Greg Dortch. Greg Dortch, man, you're digging deep, Flawless. Yeah, man, the dude plays for Arizona. He had the most catches on the team. He went 7 catches for 63 yards. All right? Just imagine if he caught a touchdown there. His line would have been very nice. Greg Dortch. Again, if you want to take one of these flyers, go right ahead. But advise you to be taking a whole bunch of them and throwing away people on your team. Just a second. Okay, let's talk about the tight ends. Already got them up here for you. Now, Taysom Hill. Let's talk about Mr. Taysom. I know everybody's all geeked up about Taysom. Taysom. Oh, Taysom, oh my God. Look, dude did well. Make no mistake about it. Taysom's going to give you that juice from running and throwing it himself. He ain't going to be catching no balls, okay? No. You know, the guy actually had 81 receiving yards, 81 rushing yards on 4 attempts. So he went 4 rushes for 81 yards and a touch. The guy had one catch for 2 yards, okay? So just understand, you're not going to get him for reception, so you're just hoping that his gadget plays pay off. Mind you, that's freaking Taysom Hill and the Saints, man. They just play so many games and you never know what's going over there. But I can see him still having a nice season. But just understand it's not going to be by way of receptions. Number 2, Gerald Everett, 3 for 54 and a touch. Not a lot of catches, but he is a good red zone target. He should be safe to give you 5, 6, 7 points, even if he doesn't score. Gerald Everett's a solid option. O.J. Howard went 2 for 38 and 2 touchdowns. He only had 2 catches, but he made them count. And in that type of landscape, that probably put him at freaking tight end number 2 or 3 or something on the week. If not number 1. And Hayden Hurst went 5 for 46. That's not a crazy stat line, but at the end of the day, when you have Higgins out with a concussion, he becomes another viable option. If he caught a handful of plays, like handful of passes last week, he'll probably do it again this week. And they play against Dallas and Jets coming up. So outside of Dallas Parsons actually rushing the quarterback, you know, they should be able to have their way with them. All right, streaming defense. Okay. Now here's just a few 4 defenses that you have up here that may possibly be on the waivers. Cleveland plays against the Jets and Pittsburgh Steelers coming up next. So that Jets, with that statue of a quarterback back there, that could be a juicy matchup for Cleveland. Cincinnati, they actually play at home. No, they don't play Dallas next, do they? Yeah, they do. They play Dallas. I just mentioned that. Dallas and the Jets. So they play Dallas and they play Jets. Dallas with a backup quarterback, then they play Jets. Cincy is a good play for the next 2 weeks. Packers play at home for Chicago. They own Chicago. They got Chicago got by my Niners, but I'm damn if they're going to get past the Packers. And the Broncos play versus Houston. They should be able to get out of there. I refuse to believe that Russell Wilson and the Broncos will be going 0-2. They should handle them quite nicely. Guys, I hope you got any substance out of this waiver wire video. Again, guys, no tilting, no stressing, no self-doubt. All right? Flawless fantasy football. We got to stay fearless and we got to stay confident. I mean that. All right? And shout out to Derek Major. I missed him in my last video where I was doing the shout outs. I had my list down there. Must have skipped his name. So shout out, my guy. All right. This is Flawless Fantasy Football. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Make sure you comment. Make sure you press the like button. That's all it costs, baby. Peace. Let's get it.